I read this report that Nigerian government uh, paid 1.1 billion to Afe Babalola and Co. with Wole Olanipekun. These are big time lawyers or whatever. So I don't know if I should just read the detailed news, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to dwell on this. There are reasons why they paid the lawyer. I don't know. Did you come across this news? Have you read this news, Barrister?
I came across it. I came across it, the
Yes,
payment.
we have the details of the fees, but basically it has to do with professional fee, um, mostly documentations here and there. You as a lawyer, a very senior one at that. Um, I don't know. Olanikbeku, you and Olanikbeku, who's senior for law, sef? Both of you, who is the senior in law in legal practice?
When the people is either my mate or about the same time.
The same time, okay.
I know the fact media attorney general is our core mate.
Oh, okay.
The same thing.
Okay. Now, I don't know, barrister. As a lawyer, I know definitely you as a lawyer you want to protect and defend your colleagues and other thing. But 1.1 billion for legal not be it's this is not we're not talking about a case in the court. These are just documentations. Preparing documents for one thing or the other. You know, we know government lawyers now. What government lawyer does? 1.1 billion barrister. What do you think about that? Is it normal?
But it depends. And number one, I do not know if the 1.1 billion is in respect of one transaction or a
Okay,
collection of
all right,
transactions.
all right. Let me,
But,
for the benefit
but
of viewers, the benefit. Let me read the details. Okay, the Nigerian government, through the Federal Ministry of Justice, has paid 1.1 billion naira in professional fees to top Nigerian lawyers over a 3-year period. The revelation came to light after an analysis of data from GovSpend, a platform that tracks government expenditures. The beneficiaries of the payments include prominent lawyers Chief Afe Babalola, San, Wole Olanipekun, San, and 23 other law firms. Okay, I didn't take note of these 23 other law firms. That's quite huge. The scope of professional services provided by the lawyers encompasses a wide range of activities, including offering legal advice, drafting documents, and representing clients in legal matters. Their services may also extend to transactional tasks, such as identifying potential legal risks in real estate or business dealings, negotiation, mediation, regulatory compliance, advocacy, lobbying, and risk management. It's worth noting that the Nigerian government has established guidelines for legal fees, including the Legal Practitioners Remuneration Order 2023, which sets a scale of charges for legal fees. I think that is why this news is making they have some reporters to made this public. However, the payment of 1.1 billion naira in professional fees to top lawyers raises questions about the transparency and accountability of government expenditures. Meanwhile, according to the analysis as published by Punch, it showed that in July 2024, Babalola, Olanikpekun, and Dr. Alex Ezinyong San collectively received 482.7 million naira from the Federal Ministry of Justice, while Babalola was paid 372.9 million. Wow, only him on July 23 for representing the federal government in a court case registered FH slash FHC slash ABJ slash SC slash 8962 slash 2023. Olanipekun and Izinyon were paid 103.6 million naira and 6.2 million naira respectively for providing similar services at different times. Anyway, I don't want to go. Barrister, you have had, okay, other among those who received payments in 2022 were Savannah Law Chambers, which was paid 1. Okay, there are other law chambers. But Barrister, now Babalola was paid 370 something, 72.9 million for a service, while the other Olanikpekun and the other lawyer Zinyo were paid together, I think about 109 point something million for the same service that this man, that Babalola rendered actually to the federal government. Barrister, can you speak to this whole revelation? Now, you bear in mind, just like it, as it was quoted here, it's worth noting that the Nigerian government has established guidelines for legal fees, including the Legal Practitioners Remuneration Order 2023, which sets a scale of charges for legal services.
Yes. Let me say that on the face of this report, you will not see anything wrong with the payment. Because one, you will not know the nature of the services rendered. Legal practitioners charge fees based on certain parameters, even before they come into force of the remuneration scale, which came into force last year, 2023. Now, whether these transactions were during that time or before, we do not know. But I do know that in certain cases, the establishment, like federal government, used to syndicate lawyers to do certain tasks. I'll give you an example. The governor of Akwa Ibom paid a lawyer who happened to be a former chairman of the NBA 1.2 billion then. And the EFCC got wind of it and charged, it was Paul, so charged him to court. It happened that it was a syndication of lawyers for electoral cases. And that 1.2 was now spread along or among the lawyers that participated in various election petitions from governorship to Senate to House of Assembly. So you will see the EFCC went to court and lost the case. They could not prove any impropriety. In this case, if you read the story on the face of it, you will think Afe Babalola was paid 1 billion. But now when you go into it, you now begin to see that he did not actually receive the 1 billion, but something lesser than what the headline showed. Now you have to dissect, his own payment was 300 something. You have to dissect the kind of services. If you are doing services for an establishment, it may be the same service, but the amount involved, your charges will relate to the amount involved in the transaction. If you are doing a deed of assignment, you charge based on the consideration in the deed of assignment. Remember back then during Obasanjo, this same Afe Babalola in 2000, the year 2000, this same Afe Babalola was paid the sum of 250 million then. That's 24 years ago.
I remember that.
For upgrading of Galaxy backbone. Now, Galaxy backbone had already been incorporated with a share capital. Now, you needed to increase the share capital. So you what we call off-stamping. So you off-stamp it to a higher share capital. Now you charge it based on the share capital that that is involved. He was paid 250 million then.
That's in billions today.
And there was a big shout then
Yeah, I remember that then.
Justify that, look, relative to what the amount involved in the transaction, this is what we are supposed to collect. So those are parameters for charging, and this remuneration order that came out in 2023. I have a copy here. The charges are specified for every transaction. It is a criminal, a professional misconduct to undercharge. If you undercharge, you charge less than what the scale provides, and it comes to the disciplinary committee of the NBA, you are going to be punished.
Really?
The lawyer, yes. If it comes to the attention that you have undercharged as per the remuneration scale, you will receive punishment.
Wow.
On the same time, if you are to charge more than what the scale indicates, you have to write the NBA and justify it. You have to write the committee. There are committees in every NBA jurisdiction on fees. You have to justify why you need to charge more than that. So the remuneration has tried to tighten and streamline charges of legal practitioners. That article did not go as far as saying, no, this payment was contrary to the scale. Although they tossed in the scale issue, but they were clever enough not to go ahead and say, look, this payment was contrary to the provisions of the scale. But you know, the public, when the public hear 1 billion paid to somebody, it becomes a whole new game. So it's not easy to sit here and say that payment was. I criticize. That brings me to an issue. I criticize the payment of about $16 million to two lawyers during Buhari's government, which I believe was fraudulent in the extreme.
$16 million?
Yes. The Abacha loot that was seized in Switzerland, about $350 million. Before Buhari came to power, the government of Nigeria has retained lawyers in Switzerland who obtained judgment that that money should be returned to Nigeria. The only condition the court in Switzerland gave is that before the money should be kept with the Attorney General of Switzerland, Nigeria should give a statement of how they intend to use that money so that they will prevent the money from being re-looted. So all you are supposed to do is give us a breakdown of how you are going to spend this money. We'll return the money to you. That was the point at which Buhari came to power. It meant that what was supposed to be done was purely administrative. Sit down, say this is how we are going to put part of this into building of school, into building health, into doing this. Just get that breakdown and send. And the money, the Attorney General then retained two private lawyers. When he has the Attorney General chamber, the Minister of Justice, that will do this administrative work, they retained two private lawyers. And when the money was brought, each of them was paid $8 million.
What?
As his fee. And I criticized the payment as fraudulent then, because absolutely there was no need to even take a private lawyer for that. Why do you have the whole Minister of Justice? Then you go outside and take a lawyer to do administrative work that ought to be done by you people in the ministry. But they were paid. There was a hue and cry here, but nothing came of it.
Nigeria, so sad.